Freedom Ring. We are back in the studio. We're still having some issues with our security team. I have talked to the union president. I'm hoping Soapy doesn't show up, but if he does, I do have Ange Dichard on the show. She will handle him. I also want to say quick shout out, tribute. The show is dedicated to the memory of Shock G. Very sad, another rapper that we've lost.
The one that put the satin on the panties.
He did. He got busy in the Burger King bathroom.
He sure did.
But Ange, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, it's great to have you on. So let's get to know you a little bit.
Okay.
Where are you from? Where'd you grow up?
Nashua. Yep. Born and raised. Grew up in Nashua. And stayed there for a while. Now I'm here in Merrimack. And things have been much quieter in Merrimack.
We've I think our paths are very similar. I was in Nashua, now I'm in Merrimack.
Yep, absolutely.
And you're like me. We went to Nashua High School.
The only.
Yeah, no north and south.
There was no north and south. We're dating ourselves. Yeah. That's fine.
Yeah, because it's now been 2004 or 5.
Man, I don't even know. I lost track.
Yeah, it's been there for a while, but that's okay. We don't have to talk about those.
We don't have to talk about that. Yeah, no.
Now, I want to get to know my guests a little bit more because usually on the show we ask one thing everybody should know about you, but I want to know 3 things that everybody should know about you.
Oh, boy. All right. So, boy mom of 2. So my oldest is actually going to be 23 this summer.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
So I was a teen mom and defied all the statistical data, graduated from high school and raised a boy who's now in the Army. And I got a miniature one who's 9 and he's going to be in the NFL soon. So that's probably, one thing. Love softball, obviously.
I understand that.
And love meeting new people and being around people. So COVID was really tough because I wasn't able to really be around people.
Yeah.
And that's my gig. I like meeting new people, being around new people. And love old school hip hop.
Yes.
So
a lot in common.
Yes, a lot in common. So when you say that you don't know all these new songs, me either. I have to get educated in order to be able to get on the softball field and sing some lyrics.
Now your son, he'll be not JMU's next year, the year after, or
yeah. So he's in 3rd grade now.
Okay.
So.
Because I used to work at JMU's, that's why I
Yep.
So the upper
We've
elementary.
already been talking about the upper elementary. Yeah. That's actually when we moved to Merrimack, was when my oldest was going into the upper elementary. Okay. So it gave him an extra year of being able to kind of be in an elementary setting instead of going into a middle school. So.
And they do. I mean, honestly, I think when we were in school, 6th grade, we were still at the elementary, so we did get those recesses, which you don't get in middle school.
You don't. You don't. It's a whole new world. Yeah. So he was definitely not ready for middle school in Nashua. He'd probably kill me for saying that now, but he wasn't ready for middle school life in Nashua. Yeah. So we kind of moved up here, and it was all good from there. So
awesome.
Yep.
Now, sticking with the theme of the show, which is Let Freedom Ring, and we ask this to every guest, and again, every guest has a different answer to this because there's a lot of different ways you can go with it. What does it mean to you to be an American?
So I've heard, a lot of people say the same thing, freedom. It really is. It's huge. It's like the right to be able to just make your own choices, live your own life, select your own path, not have everything kind of predetermined for you. So that's really important to me, so that's pretty much what it would be. Yeah,
I like that answer. Yeah. No, I do. I mean, we do have, and I know not everybody feels the same in certain aspects, but you do have opportunities in the United States that some countries you don't have.
Right.
It's
very true.
Good answer. So we'll get into current events. Big trial that's went on last week that a verdict came through. May have heard of it.
Might have.
Derek Chauvin, who guilty in the murder of George Floyd, had his knee on his neck for 9 minutes, I believe. Because sometimes I've said 8, and people are like, no, it was 9.
It was 9.
And there was 3 charges in there, and I know there's been a lot of debate. Well, how is he guilty of all 3? Regardless, did the jury get it right?
Absolutely, 100%. And I was actually kind of bothered about the fact that, like, it was, to me, I felt like it was, I know everybody's entitled to their fair trial and whatnot, but to me, I just felt like that was kind of dragged out, like, and it was insulting to some degree. But they definitely got it right, for sure.
Yeah, and because I did see someone post, so like, I don't know what you guys are celebrating. This should have been handled a long time ago. I go, I understand like a lot of frustration from people, but you still have to have trials in the United States.
You do.
Well, I know it was on camera, but that doesn't mean you have to be found guilty by a jury. That's how it works.
I know.
You know, ideally, I know the evidence was there. It was clear as day. Mm-hmm. But I think he kind of did move pretty fast.
Yeah, I mean, in comparison, but I think just because it was so alarming and because it was 9 minutes of people watching, I think it was just kind of like, I think people expected it to maybe be a little bit faster than, I don't know.
Because I think it only took them 10 hours, which...
Yeah.
I watch Dateline like every night. That's fast.
That's fast.
In 10 hours, you're guilty. You're probably guilty.
True. True. Very true. Yeah.
But yeah, I think you're right. They did get it right.
Definitely got it right.
What do you think, if you were to pick how many years do you think he should do?
Life.
Yeah, I don't disagree.
I think he should be there. I mean, I know it sounds terrible to say, but anybody, it's not just because of, you know, the circumstances surrounding it, but anybody that takes somebody else's life in such a malicious way, I mean, you don't get the right to be able to walk.
Go. You're going to jail.
You need to go to jail. Just get thrown to the wolves. General Pop is like, please send him there, you know.
Because there was, you know, you watch the video, there's so many opportunities to just stop.
Absolutely.
Just get off them. I mean, I could not imagine having a knee on my neck on the pavement for that long.
No.
It's horrible, you know, and I know Brett Favre came out and said, well, I don't think he was meant to kill him. That could be true. But he had to have at some point in his head gone, what am I doing? Like, what am I doing? This guy's begging me to stop.
The saddest part about it is I don't think this is the first time.
Yeah, I would not doubt that.
I mean, if somebody can stay there for 9 minutes on somebody's neck while people are literally recording and watching this all play out, this hasn't been the first time that you've done this, sir.
The arrogancy you know? To be like, I know people are watching and I still don't care.
Right.
Yeah, I think he deserves whatever he gets.
For sure.
Which brings us to everybody's favorite New York mayor, who's over the years kind of tarnished his legacy because in 2001, if you would have told me Rudy Giuliani would be the guy he is now, I would have not believed it. Because he came, you know, such a hero in bringing New York together after 9/11. But he is just, I don't know, something's wrong with him.
Yeah.
You know, over some stuff with our former president. FBI has raided his apartment yesterday. I don't know what they're going to find or what they're really looking for. Does this shock you at all?
I wouldn't say it shocks me just because of his allegiance and alliance with our former president. Nothing shocks me when it comes to that, to be perfectly honest. I mean, it really doesn't. But like you said, it is so unfortunate because he did bring, you know, everybody together after such a horrific, you know, day to remember. And so when you think about him being so, I don't know, tarnished, like you said, it's bananas to me to even think.
And did you see that, like, even Borat pranked him? No. Borat 2, where he was getting very inappropriate with a young woman.
Oh, dear.
It is shocking. And, you know, my thing, I could have told you in 2004, he was trying to milk the 9/11 thing so much to try to get to the presidency that I said,
something's not
maybe
right
that's the guy that we all thought he was.
Right.
Because, yeah, you could have just said you brought New York together, but you were milking it for everything it was worth. And it didn't feel right.
Yeah.
And now we kind of see who he really is.
Yeah. Well, you know, sometimes people's lifestyles and things that they pick, like, will lead them down paths that they probably didn't think they were going to go down either.
That's true.
You know, so I don't think everything is always as it seems. So
I mean, I hope that later in my life I don't become a villain.
I'll try to keep you on the
Keep
straight
me on
and
the straight,
narrow. I'll be like,
you
hey,
know.
listen, you're going left. You need to just stay focused.
What has happened to Tiny Pipes? He's out of control now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just, it's sad. But, you know, I think whatever happens to Rudy Giuliani, I do feel like he deserves it. He's a dirtbag.
I couldn't pull up like what they were looking for though, whether or not they found stuff. Like
I think there's
that's
a lot
the
of
part that
there was a lot of stuff going on with Trump.
Yeah.
That was sketchy because, in honesty, before he was president, that's what he's done. But you know, his cult does get behind him no matter what.
Absolutely.
And it is what it is.
You get sucked in real quick, and then you get in over your head. I think it might have been part of this as well.
I totally agree. Last night, Joe Biden addressed the nation.
Yes.
His first 100 days, kind of, you know, this is like the president's like, look what I've been doing. Look at what the direction's going. Any takes on the address last night? I know you were on a beach.
Yeah, so listen, I was on a beach drinking Trulies for like the last 7 days. I'm not ashamed to admit that. I deserve it. But I did catch like probably the last like 30 minutes of it, and you know, I think it's all good. Like I think it's great what he's been able to accomplish, you know, in the last 100 days, and you know, especially when it comes to the vaccinations. You know, it's like people were really like, this is never going to happen, you know, and it's happening.
And a transition, because they're like, it was already going. I'm like, yeah, but the next incoming president, you had a president who was like pretty much telling you this, don't worry about this.
Right.
And then he got it. And he got the best health care possible.
Yeah.
For Biden to really keep it rolling and for it to be the success that it's been, you know, and there's a lot of other things that he discussed, you know. I know a lot of people were like, what do you mean free preschool? I'm like, that's not a bad thing, guys.
That's not a bad thing.
Like, free preschool? We're going to be upset about that?
I'm kind of upset that I don't have any more to follow. Like, so I can't be like, but yeah, I like I said, I missed a lot of it. Tried to get caught up. There were a couple people that were dozing off. I was like, "What is this? What's going on?"
Oh, Ted
here?
Cruz, I think, was doing that intentionally.
I think it was. Oh, really?
I really do believe that.
Because they put the camera right on him, and he was like,
I mean, I'll say this right now into the camera. Lion Ted is one of the biggest dirtbags in politics, period. Anybody that states that they represent a state and they're in an emergency, let's just say you represent New Hampshire. You're probably not going to Florida last week.
No.
He went to Mexico for a vacation when his state was in an emergency.
An emergency.
He is the scum of the earth. I don't care what anybody says. And the guy did not defend his wife. He defended his wife for about 2 seconds after the horrible things that Donald Trump said about her, and backtracked and backed Donald Trump. Could you imagine someone saying horrible things about your significant other and you're just like, meh, whatever.
Yeah.
We'll be buddies.
Scum.
Yeah, he really is.
I don't got time for stuff like that. I support you there.
I've never liked Ted Cruz. I'll never like Ted Cruz. But one other thing I just want to address, I posted something on Facebook last night that kind of sparked unnecessary controversy.
Oh, jeez.
It was just a meme saying, Biden says you can now not wear your mask outside.
I did see that.
Okay.
You were like, people were wearing masks outside.
Yeah, because we never did that at softball. We were conscious. We stayed away, but we knew we were outside.
Yeah.
I just thought it was funny. And it was sent to me by one of my conservative friends. I was like, that's actually pretty funny.
Yeah.
Because even when Biden said that, I was kind of laughing about it. So I shared it. My liberal friends are laughing. My moderate friends are laughing. My conservative friends are laughing. And then comes the Trumpers.
Oh, boy.
Even people that I consider friends. One of them was a former guest of this show.
Oh, dear.
Says, use a particular word that I would not use, the R word.
Okay.
A lot of people have family members and things, people that have disabilities. That is not funny. That's so juvenile, and that is so, you're not in middle school anymore. You need to grow up.
Right.
Someone did not like that, and they tore into him, and then they went back and forth. And
as you read to read the comments.
I deleted it.
Okay.
It was so bad, the things that were being said, that I was like, I shared this to be funny, And I thought everybody could have a laugh. Not conservatives, not liberals. I thought everybody could have a little laugh at this. And it became something that just was, the things being said back and forth were appalling and just disgusting and not what we need.
Why? See, this is my big thing is that, like, I was always raised that, like, my father always told me, you know, there's certain things you don't talk about in public, you know, politics being one of them. But as I've grown older and have gone through my own trials and tribulations, if you will, there's a lot of things that I've just learned that you just need to, like, let a lot of things just roll off.
Oh,
you know
I
what I
agree,
mean?
yeah.
Like, just stop taking things so seriously and so literally. But like you said, using certain
There's
language
things that we
you
might have
just
said
don't.
in middle school
Right.
that 36-year-old Dan would never,
Right.
never go down that road
Right.
anymore.
Exactly.
So I was shocked, and to be honest, this guy I like a lot. I consider him a friend, but the lambasting, I think, is that a word? Am I using the right word? The verbal beatdown he was getting, he deserved it. But at the same time, the stuff the other guy was saying was like, it got vile after a while.
Too far.
So I just kind of was like, yeah, I'm just going to take this down. I was just like, I'm just going to take this down.
Yeah.
I just thought everybody could enjoy a little chuckle.
I got a chuckle out of it.
Yeah.
I thought it was pretty funny.
I saw some of my, like...
because I instantly did think about softball.
Yeah.
Like, we were outside. We were playing.
I saw some of my most far left friends laugh at that.
Mm-hmm.
And then, but you always just have that, some people on Facebook that they got to go too far with it. You know, so everybody
We've
do
known
better.
a few. Yeah.
Everybody do better. There's certain things that maybe you thought were funny in middle school. They're not funny as an adult.
They're not funny. Nope.
But let's get into the fan questions and comments.
Oh boy. Okay.
First one.
Yeah.
From my girlfriend, Stephanie Hart.
Yes.
She's put a cat face.
Yay.
Now, I know you had asked earlier, does the glove represent Venom or the Renegades?
Yes.
We're going to address this. She was asked to play by Jen over the weekend to play for the Renegades.
Yeah.
She's still thinking it over, I believe.
Oh.
Because,
I'm gonna have to just.
well, Jen straight up says, like, well, I don't know how much I can get you in. Which I would understand. That's not usually the first way to, like...
Jennifer, she's gonna be a renegade. That's all I'm saying.
That's how you're yeah, we'd like it. You know, but Jen, obviously, I know it's tough for her. Being a coach is tough.
I wouldn't be able to do it. Honest to God, that is not my thing. I just show up at the field and I'm like, let's just have a good time. I can't do the book. I'm not going to tell you where you are in the lineup. That's not my thing. I know where I need to go, and
I do my part, but that's it.
right.
I give Jen a lot of credit.
Yes.
Venom, Venom's not till the fall. We don't know. Hopefully, we can wear our jerseys for more than one game.
That would be nice. That would be nice. Not that everybody loved them, but they're still in my closet, and I'd like to be able to wear them.
I think we wore them once, and I was like,
Probably
going
once.
on the hanger in the closet.
Yep.
So still have those.
But I mean, she does have a purple stitch glove, so she kind of has to be part of this.
Well, she was drawn to that glove right away. Like, she's like, that's the one I want. So today we put all the stuff on it, threw the rubber bands on it. It's getting progress.
Getting there.
You know.
All right.
I haven't broken in a glove since in years.
Yeah.
So it was kind of actually fun for me.
Yeah, because you haven't had to do. I'm still using the same one that I've used since I was a little girl.
Yeah.
So I've got my Cooper. It's done me well.
When you get a glove you love, like, you never want to move on from it.
Oh, I'll wear like 3 palm guards before I get a new glove.
Yeah.
Like, I've got nothing left on the inside of my glove, nothing. So, yeah.
I remember I bought this Mizuno that I bought in, like, college. And then eventually, you know, like the strap sometimes on the inside? It was one of those, and it snapped. I could never get it. And I called Indian Head at the time, they could fix gloves. They're like, yeah, we don't do that. So...
Dang.
I did give it to somebody whose name we're not going to mention, Soapy Pre-Op, who has attacked me on my show, and I gave him a glove.
I saw
it's like,
that.
Can you believe that?
Attack. That's awful.
Give the guy a glove. He said he
Give
attacks
him
me
a
on the show.
glove. Attacks you. Rude.
From Frank Delichai, former guest of the show.
Flacco.
The one and only.
Love him.
Man, there's gonna be some energy injected into this show.
Yes.
Does anybody have more energy than you?
I don't know. I try to bring it. I like positivity, and I feel like if I'm going somewhere, if I'm going to be part of something, like I just want to bring that energy and
Make it fun.
Make it fun. That's what it's supposed to be. You know, when people take things too seriously, I tend to gravitate towards them a little bit more, and I'll be like, hey, like it's
Lighten
not
up.
lighten up a little bit. Like, here, have a Truly, you know, like whatever. But yeah, Flacco, I love him. Love you.
Yeah, Flacco's a great guy.
Such a great guy.
Hopefully, maybe the Bears can make some draft picks for him tonight. We'll have to see.
We'll
or
see.
tomorrow.
Alex cannot wait to watch the draft tonight. He's like, are we going to be home in time for the draft? I'm like, yes.
And this is one year where it's like finally exciting as a Patriots fan because you're like, are they gonna? We're gonna talk about that. We will talk about that.
Okay.
But I know because we probably go down that rabbit hole right now. Leo Connors, the
Yes.
host of the Ring and All Other Sports. There would be no Let Freedom Ring without Leo Connors. Are you related to Al Dichard?
I am very related to Al Dichard. He is my father. So
There you go, Leo.
there you have it. He's my dad. Yep.
Very awesome. And the Dichard family has been around this area for a long time.
Yeah. So I did a little back research on Leo just to make sure, because some of the Dichards, you know, are known for certain types of things. Some of them are not well liked. You know, it all depends on the day, I think. But yeah, so we just wanted to make sure that Leo was the good guy, and I found out that he's a good guy. So my dad says hi, Leo.
We all love Leo. From Stephanie Dichard, your cousin.
Yes.
My most favorite human.
Yeah, I love my Steph. We've always been so close. She's younger than I am, but I had gone through some crazy times, you know, as a teenager, and I saw her through some of her crazy times. And so we really do not need to see each other all the time, but we're pretty clse.
Nice.
Yep.
And that's a big thing that, like, because you see a lot of these posts on Facebook, like, well, you didn't text me. Or like, well, if they were thinking about it, it's like, I don't, you know, I have friends that I don't need to see or text them every day, and they're still my friends.
Right.
Like, some people, I guess, are more needy than others.
Not it. I think it comes with age, too. It's just
Yeah.
like, ugh, I don't have time for that. But
Like
she knows anytime she texts me, I'm there. Like, she's got it like that. So,
Awesome.
for sure.
And that's good. It's good to have, you know, family that, you know, you can always reach out to them. And from Jen, Spy Lois.
No, Spilius.
Dang it. She told me this the other day.
Spilius.
Because I have mispronounced Jen's name on the show
I know.
so many times.
And every time I watch the show, I'm like, Dan, we got to fix this. We
All right,
got to
one
fix
more
this
time
once
and
and
that
all. Spilius.
Spilius. Jen, I apologize. You even told me this on Saturday.
I got you, Jennifer.
You know. But Jen's comments. Toughest chick I know. Best mom, best friend, best softball teammate, and supporter. I could go on. I love, love, love me some Ange, a.k.a. Mouth.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I've known Jen for years. We played middle school ball together. We had crazy times together, you know, so I've known Jen for a really long time. So I love her. I do. I love her, and a lot of people have their own, you know, their own ways about them, but I know how Jen rocks. I know, you know, how she is. And so we vibe really well together. She pulled me into the softball community. She begged me for years, and I was like, I'm not doing slow pitch softball.
Yeah.
I'm not doing it. And she was like, please. And I'm so glad. I'm so blessed that she did, because I've met so many people and I've had so much fun. So
It is a blast. Like, over the weekend, I took Stephanie to the tournament just to watch. And she was like, oh, I get why you like this.
Yeah.
It's like everybody just kind of hangs out, play the games. You're
fun.
playing or you're watching or whatever. You're doing
Yeah.
something, so...
gives you something to do, you know, be outside. And so, yeah.
And Jen's got a big heart. She really does.
She does. She has a huge heart. And sometimes having a huge heart isn't always the best thing. I've walked that path, you know, too, you know, but I get it. You know, I do. I get it. So she does have a huge heart. She's a great person. She really is. So I love Jen.
Yeah.
I do.
Jen's good people.
And I'll come to her defense, but she also knows that I will always call her out too if she's doing it wrong. So she knows.
And that's the thing I think about having like a good friend is like you'll have their back.
For sure.
When you got to call them out, you can also do that.
Yep, she knows.
You know.
She knows, and she respects that too.
Yep.
You know, it's like it's that friendship. You know, and I went through really tough time, and my Renegades girls, like, they stepped it up. And there was Jen and Sabi, and I call her Five. Everybody knows her as Blondie. Amanda.
Blondie, yes.
Yeah, a couple of other girls. I mean, they came up to Mass Jen and they visited me, when I was going through my darkest moments, so it's more than just a friendship, they're family to me, really. So, especially, like I said, Jen, I've known her for so long, so I won't ever count her out.
Well, it definitely seems mutual in her comments.
Yeah.
So.
I love me some Jen.
Getting into sports.
Yes.
I don't know if we mentioned this. I guess there's a draft tonight, an NFL draft.
Yeah, my 9-year-old keeps reminding me.
And there's a lot of headlines now going in the draft. I don't know if you were in Florida. You might not have heard of this unless you've listened to Sports Hub, which I usually try to avoid the Sports Hub because it's so much negativity.
I can't do Sports Hub.
I was in Andover earlier. I was driving home. So I was like, it's draft day. I'll put it on. Now, I know we have some stuff on the agenda here, but do you believe Aaron Rodgers is not happy with the Packers? Or do you think this is just like an internet thing that everybody's like jumping on?
I think it's an internet thing that everybody's jumping on. I mean, come on. It's Aaron Rodgers. I mean,
I got people texting me like, Aaron Rodgers, the Patriots. I'm like, calm down.
Yeah.
No.
I think it's an internet thing that everybody's just jumping on.
Just jumping on.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I don't see it any other way.
It's weird. There's going to be a lot of rumors, obviously, tonight. Because a lot of moving pieces. If Aaron Rodgers is not a Packer next year, I will be completely shocked.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know that he was mad they drafted a QB a couple of years ago, but still.
He's a Packer.
And I just can't. Yeah,
He's
I don't
a Packer.
see it.
I don't either.
And if we're wrong, our bad, but I don't see it happening.
We have the right to be wrong,
yeah,
too.
It can happen.
I mean, it's fine.
Who would you want to start? Because now the other thing is, because this is draft day, we got all kinds of crazy stuff happening. The 49ers looking to get rid of Jimmy Garoppolo, possibly, and maybe be a Patriot.
All right.
Who would you want as the starter next year, Cam Newton or Jimmy G?
Oh, gosh.
Knowing how biased I am towards Cam Newton.
Well, I feel like Jimmy G should have been a Patriot. Like, I just feel like that should have just been, the course. But I wouldn't be heartbroken either way. Like, I'm still kind of having a difficult time getting past the whole Brady situation.
I know, and I got the Brady, like,
this is
I
like hurting my heart, but
it has this Tampa Bay look, but this is a Brady. I'm not a Tampa Bay fan. People have said that to me, and I said no. But I know what you mean. It's been tough.
It's tough. It's still a tough pill to swallow.
It's like getting dumped by your ex who's like older, but they're still I don't know. I guess still attractive to the other people.
I know.
Like, how is this?
But again, like, I feel like that was all like, it was all written. Like, I feel like this was all like, I mean, how could it not have been? It just worked out like so perfectly. Tampa Bay, Super Bowl. I remember talking to my friend like a couple years back, and I'm like, Tampa Bay, like, the Super Bowl is going to be in Tampa. I'm coming to watch the Patriots. She lives in Tampa.
Oh,
like, this is going to be perfect.
Yeah.
Didn't turn out to be as perfect as I thought.
No.
The Patriots weren't playing in Tampa. Well, they were, but they weren't.
Tampa Bay's coming to the Gillette this
I know.
year. I don't know if I'll be able to get into. I feel like tickets can be like crazy.
Oh,
for
they're going
that.
to be insane.
But I would fly to Tampa Bay to go see Brady. I mean, how many more years is this guy going to play? This is insane.
He's a machine, though. Like, who knows? But I did get the opportunity to go to Tampa Bay Stadium.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, because I brought my son to the XFL.
Oh, you did. Oh, you went. You did go to one of those games. We talked about it.
We did.
Because I went to one in DC.
Yeah,
That's
we brought
awesome.
him to the Vipers game like right before COVID, so he was able to see the stadium and everything. So it actually worked out. It worked out great.
I need the XFL back because you could go to those games and do whatever the hell you wanted. Oh, you want to walk up right to the field? We don't have security. Just do it. Wave to the, like, it was great.
Insane. I didn't even know about the XFL like that until I actually walked in on that game, and I just it literally fell in our lap and I couldn't turn it down.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, what? To go to the Bucs Stadium? Like, absolutely, sign me up. With my baby? Like, for sure. But they're crazy.
It was a great atmosphere. It was great.
There were girls that were
Yeah.
and I was trying to block my son's eyes. He's laughing. I'm like, oh God, this is this is terrible.
I wanted that to succeed so bad, but COVID hit. My brother Tim.
Hit hard.
My brother Tim.
Yeah.
Huge Tampa Bay Vipers fan.
Ah.
I picked the Defenders. My brother Bobby picked the Battlehawks. And then we went to the game. My brother Mike jumped on Defender Nation. We want the Defenders back. Dwayne Johnson, The Rock, please make this happen. Because I know they're having some issues right now.
They are.
Do you think a seventh, Madison Bumgarner just threw a no-hitter. They're doing the 7th-inning games, I think, in doubleheaders. Not counting in the record books. Do you think it should be?
No.
Fair enough.
No.
Should there be a 7-inning game no-hitter record?
No. It's annoying. Stop trying to change the game just to speed things up.
You're a traditionalist,
yes.
Yes. I
It's
am,
so
yeah.
annoying to me. Why are you putting somebody on second? You know what I mean? It just doesn't make sense to me. It's this is baseball. It's slow.
I have to say, and it could be a lot of the guests that I have on the show, everybody that's come on is a baseball purist. Mm-hmm. They say the same things.
Stop taking.
So
yeah,
they are ruining the game.
they are.
You
It's heartbreaking. It really is. It's why are we doing this? But
No, I agree.
we don't reinvent the wheel.
I feel
It's
bad
baseball.
though because 2 more innings he could have had it, But we'll
Such
never
is
know.
life.
Yeah.
Shit sucks. What do you want me to say? I mean,
Do you have any favorite moments playing softball?
oh gosh, I have so many favorite moments playing softball. But I could share probably one just very quickly, as a kid, even Jen will attest, she was part of the team that actually traveled down to Newton, Illinois. And they played out in Illinois, and my sister was on the team with her. And I just kind of tagged along, but it was a great memory. They played on red brick clay. We didn't know anything about that stuff back then. It was everything was stone dust.
Yep.
You would trash your legs sliding
Oh my
every
goodness,
time. That's when I used to slide. Jen, I don't slide. You know this. But yeah, so that was a really great memory. They, just being able to see how different people play in different states. And then most recently, just doing pickup. Really great memories that I'll be able to have and to be able to hold for forever. So I've told you this before. I am so very grateful that you started the pickup. And even if, teams are going, I hope that we can still continue to do pickup.
Yeah, I'd like to.
That was fun.
It was fun. And because it was, obviously none of us had any idea where COVID was going.
Right.
But I think we did become such a fun group that was just we're not here. We've all done what we're going to do in this game.
Mm-hmm.
We're just playing because we love it.
Right.
And I'm hoping to bring it back for the fall. Now, I know
would
with
be
leagues coming back, it's tough. We'll bring it back. But that was a lot of fun because we were just playing because we love it. Mm-hmm. There's something to be said about that,
For sure. And I know for me, I was out of the game for probably a solid 3 years outside of my core group. So there were so many new faces of people that like I didn't even know had been playing. So like I step back into the scene and there's all these new people and I'm like, and they're like, who's this new girl? And I'm like, oh no, I'm an OG. I've been here. Like, who are you?
Yeah.
But I got to know a ton of new people, you know, and people who played, you know, men's that I never had the opportunity to go and watch, or people that played co-ed that I never even really noticed that I played against or whatever. There was a charity tournament for me that people played in.
I played in that. I didn't even know you at the time.
And we didn't even know
awesome.
each other. So I didn't get the opportunity to thank people for that. And I got the opportunity to thank them, you know, later on just by meeting them. So it was a great opportunity for me to get to know different people, get to meet new people, establish new relationships, and see a completely different picture of the game too.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
It was fun.
And we will do it again. It's just everything's, again, leagues are coming back and that's good. But like it was a time where it's like we all were like, we need a home.
Yeah.
There's nothing for us right now.
I needed that more than anything. Yeah. Even if it wasn't just for like the playing aspect, just the social aspect of it too. It's fun. You can just sit there and talk all the nonsense you want. I'm trying to not cuss. This is a big thing for me. This is a big thing for me. I'm trying not to cuss.
I'll edit that later if it, you know. Do you have a favorite pro sports moment?
I actually do. So I was thinking about this, and it took me less than like half a second. Mo Vaughn absolutely like stole my heart, you know. And so we would go down to spring training, and I had the opportunity to meet his parents.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they were in the stands. We were in the stands, and I, you know, was like screaming like a crazy person, as I normally do. Things don't change over the years when it comes to that. I'm just loud in general. But yeah, his mom was like really super nice. She had this huge like 42 necklace, like super thick.
When last players get to wear that number too?
I know. I still got to get me a jersey.
Yeah.
Let's do that. But yeah, so that's probably like one of my moments, just because it was like very personal, you know. It was weird. It was just how it happened.
And grew up in the 90s, we idolized Mo Vaughn.
Yeah.
We all did. Love. Him and Nomar obviously came a little later. But
yeah, love. I still have a Pedro jersey. I still have a Veritek jersey. Yeah. Like, I'm like, can I like sell these on eBay? Like, does anybody want these? But yeah, I mean, just looking back, like that was baseball. That's the heart and soul of it all. So when you talk about changing the rules and the dynamic of the game, and
it makes us sick.
Yeah, for sure.
I totally agree with that.
Yeah.
And that is super cool. You got to meet his parents.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Wicked nice people.
Were you an Office fan at all?
No.
Okay.
So when you pulled that up, I was like, I think I probably watched like one episode. I've seen the memes. I've heard the back and forths, and people are like, what do you mean you didn't watch The Office?
I highly recommend it.
I know.
I just want to say, I guess yesterday was the 10 years since when Steve Carell left the show. Michael Scott character is, to me, the funniest character of all time on any show. I just couldn't believe it's already been 10 years.
Time flies by.
I'm like, oh my God.
I can't speak on The Office, but I can speak on the fact that time flies by very quickly. So yeah, looking back, I mean, 10 years, and then how many seasons of The Office is there really? Do you know?
Oh God, I should know. I think it's eight seasons.
See, that's like dedication.
But when he left, it was like, it just was never
the same.
All those characters are great, but without Michael Scott as the head, it's really hard. And a lot of shows, TV shows, have gone through that over the years.
Yeah.
You lose the biggest character, it is hard to continue.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to do some top fives here. We love to do top fives on the show.
Okay.
Do you have a top 5 favorite movies?
Yeah, probably pretty easy, but I'm going to, again, date myself. So, Love and Basketball.
Nice.
Poetic Justice.
Ooh, Tupac and Janet Jackson.
Yes. Love. I know it's going to sound crazy, but Boys in the Hood, like I love Boys in the Hood. I just can't
I've worn the Boys in the Hood shirt on the show. I love it.
See?
Except there's certain scenes that makes me go,
Oh God. Ricky. So I don't know. I can't get that mom's scream out of my head.
Guy was gonna go on a scholarship,
And he's dead on a plastic couch.
Yeah.
Anyway, The Town. Love The Town. I could watch that movie over and over again.
Prove Ben Affleck still had it in him too.
For sure. Love that movie. And then Angelina Jolie in Salt. I don't know if you've ever seen Salt.
But I know of it.
Such a good movie.
I'll
Such a
check
good
that
movie. Yeah.
Top 5 TV shows.
That's tough because I don't watch a whole lot of TV. I like MTV The Challenge.
My girlfriend loves that show.
Oh,
And
we're going to have to watch.
I put it on the other day, and it started because I haven't watched The Real World. I was,
Yeah.
just to put it in perspective, in 1992, when I used to watch MTV as a very small child, which probably developed how I think about the world.
Same.
And being so like, if you watch The Real World, and I'm in 3rd grade when Pedro had AIDS. Okay?
Yes.
I didn't know anybody that was gay at that point in my life, but I knew Pedro.
You knew Pedro.
And he died of AIDS, and like I was a kid that was like could understand like.
Yeah.
But anyways, I'm watching The Challenge with her like last night, just a little bit. I go, I know that person. Oh, that's Tech. That's Ruth.
Yeah.
They were in Hawaii. They were on Real World Hawaii in '99. But yeah, I do like seeing like when they bring back the people that I remember.
Right. Yeah. And so the father of my boys, he is like a drama junkie. So he would watch all of like the Big Brother and all of that. And now, The Challenge is bringing in all these other. So it's not just The Real World. It's like people from like Love Island. I don't even know. I've never even seen that show.
We want The Real World.
We want just The Real World. But yeah, so like The Challenge I like. I used to watch like The Amazing Race and Survivor, stuff like that. But mostly I watch like crime TV. So like the first 48,
Yep.
I could watch every single episode. I don't think I've ever missed one. So I love that kind of stuff. Dateline.
I love Dateline.
Yep.
No, I definitely agree. And I just want to point out one other thing. The original cast of The Real World, apparently, I don't have Paramount. I might have to get it. They are doing a show with them now.
No, stop. Really?
Yeah, the original cast. Which, honestly, if you and I'm not just saying this because I watched it, but you want to talk about real social issues, they were doing that. And then Real World became, let's get people drunk and have sex and have a good time.
And all that.
The original ones were actually people getting real.
Right. It really was, for sure. I remember it. My father would always, he would call MTV mental television. He's like, you're watching that mental television again? I'm like, but I couldn't stop. I mean.
But that was actually really telling on society.
It was.
It was, some of it, you remember Puck?
I remember. Of course. How can you not?
He was this crazy homophobic guy that didn't really understand. You really have these people. And they still exist to this day. Mm-hmm. That's not what sells anymore.
I might have to just hop on somebody's Paramount account or something. Anybody got Paramount?
I want to ask this question. We'll get into blank versus blank, but I really want to know this. Do you have a top 5 favorite albums?
Yeah, again, old school, hip hop, rap, anything Tupac. DMX, I mean.
R.I.P.
R.I.P. That was heartbreaking. That one hit differently. It really did. When Biggie and Pac went, it's one thing.
We were kids.
Yeah, we were kids. But, DMX, that one hit hard. Especially, thinking he was just here, not too long ago.
And I realized, I hadn't listened to his music so long, and I was like, I got to put this on.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, this really meant so much to me in middle school and high school.
Mm-hmm.
I loved this.
Yes.
And you get older and you don't listen to things as much, but yeah, he meant a lot to my adolescent years.
For sure.
Yeah.
My playlist pretty much is all, Pac, Biggie, Digital Underground, Mobb Deep, Love, Lost Boys, all of that. So I wouldn't necessarily say specific albums per se, but more so artists. But I also love Aerosmith and I love Journey and I love, so I listen to a lot of different types of music. So
same here.
Yeah.
Yeah, albums, everybody has a hard time with the albums.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
They really do.
That's a tough one.
All right, let's get into blank versus blank. So I'm going to give you two things, two people, two anything. You got to pick one and tell why.
It's intense.
Paul Pierce or Larry Bird?
Oh, I got to go Larry Bird because I was never, I know this is going to sound terrible. People are going to probably hate me for this, but I was never a huge Paul Pierce fan. I always went the Antoine Walker way.
Ah, the big wiggle.
Yes,
Yeah.
I loved Antoine Walker. And the funniest part is I still have the jerseys, so I can still wear the Antoine Walker jersey, just in a different way.
I still have that one too. Yes.
Yes.
Champion. It was a champion one.
Yes. So I definitely have to go with Bird. When we went to Illinois for that softball thing, he actually has a place in Terre Haute, Indiana, his own hotel. And in the bottom of the pool, there's actually a basketball
that's awesome.
outline.
Yeah.
And I actually met him a number of times. There was trainers that used to be on Spitbrook Road in Nashua.
Oh, no way.
So my father brought me and my sister as kids. And man, his hands, and they were just like, his fingers were all over the place, like crazy. But yeah, childhood memories.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Definitely Bird.
All right, here's a heated debate.
Oh, Lord.
Jordan or LeBron?
Jordan.
Not even going to think about it.
Not ever going to think about that twice.
All right, fair enough.
Yep.
Fair enough. Nas or Jay-Z?
Nas.
Yeah, that's a tough one for me too. Because I go Jay-Z.
Really?
That's just because I had more Jay-Z albums. Like every time Jay-Z had an album, I was like, yeah, I'm going to buy it.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, I had all of them, but I just always vibed with Nas. I just felt it more.
When I was 12, I went to hell for snuffing Jesus. That's like, are you kidding me? You know, like he was unbelievable.
The best part was my parents didn't know what to do with me.
Yeah.
They were like, who is this girl that we brought to the burbs, you know what I mean, of Nashua, and she's listening to all of this music, but they didn't know what to do with me. But yeah, I'd have to say Nas.
Fair enough. Prince or Michael Jackson? I asked this one quite a bit.
Michael Jackson. I never really got into Prince. I mean, yeah, there's hits after hits after hits, but you can't ever go wrong with Michael Jackson.
Yeah, he really was the king of pop. Mm-hmm. And yeah, it's a tough one for me. But I do go Michael Jackson too, but I love Prince.
Yeah.
I really love Prince. Here's one that's interesting. Because a lot of people talk about Cardi B, they talk about Nicki Minaj. I want to talk about two rappers of our time, really.
Okay, good.
Lil' Kim or Foxy Brown?
Oh, that's a wicked hard one.
Yeah. Queen Bee.
I know.
Yeah.
There's so many people that if they watch this, I'd have to say Foxy. Lil' Kim.
She got really raunchy.
She was so
Wow.
raunchy. She was so raunchy. I've got her on my playlist.
Yeah.
But there's certain songs that I'm like, ooh, I can't play this too loud, especially driving around Merrimack. So I got to skip that one. But usually Foxy, I can get away with just getting some of her. I liked her beats.
Yeah.
So.
Hers is tragic because she lost her hearing.
Did she really?
Yeah.
I didn't know
That's
that.
part of like why you don't hear. I mean, you don't hear really of anything anymore. But like Foxy Brown, something happened. I don't know if she fully lost it, but yeah, she lost some of her hearing.
Oh wow! I never knew that.
Yeah.
Never knew that.
I
mean, Lil' Kim certainly isn't the same.
No, she's not looking the same. I will say, "Crush on You" though. Like that was always in my playlist. But I will say, as a young Daniel. I borrowed Hardcore from somebody, and I was in like 7th grade. I put it on. I was like, I don't know what it is. I've never heard a woman talk like. I've never even heard a man talk like this. What is it? What is she saying? Like, I was like I couldn't listen. It was crazy. But I do really like the way they both sounded when they rapped. Like, that's why when I hear stuff today, I go, yeah. Lil' Kim, Foxy Brown are much better.
Yeah, it's just not it. I mean, there's a lot of raunch out there right now, but I feel like back then, like when you talk about Foxy Brown, you talk about Lil' Kim, it's a completely different level. It's a completely different level. There's a message in some of the stuff, especially I think with Foxy's content more so. But yeah, I mean, I'll listen to Cardi B. Yeah. I will.
If it's up, then it's stuff.
If it's yeah, there is a lot to be learned about Cardi B, but the music now is just not the same as
it doesn't feel like the MCs of back in the day.
No.
It doesn't. The flows feel different. Everything just feels different. And that's how we know we're getting up there, I guess. Is because when I turn on the radio, I go, yeah, my day, it was way better than that. Yeah.
But I have noticed that there are some like newer songs that have come out with some like old school beats. And
Well,
I'm like,
that's what Puffy was doing.
wow, look at this. Exactly.
Everybody ripped Sean Combs back in the 90s, and now they're
Killed
doing
him,
it again.
and they're doing it again. I'm like, wait a second, oh no, this isn't it. This
Yeah.
isn't it.
Yeah.
But it's still got the same beat, the same track. It's crazy.
And that happens a lot. And that's a lot of what happened in hip hop in the 80s, where they would take like stuff from disco and stuff like that and kind of remix them. And it's just kind of, I love hip hop. It's just a different genre of music.
Totally different.
You know. More responsible for the success of the New England Patriots, Bill Belichick or Tom Brady? I know this is tough.
So I would have to say Belichick, just because, I mean, I know Brady is a force, you know, he gets people together. He pretty much ran the entire season last season when he went down to the Bucs, you know.
Doesn't need a quarterback coach, that's for sure.
No, absolutely does not. But I have to give it to Belichick because, I mean, you're bobbing and weaving every single season, every moment.
And you're buying the groceries.
Right.
Yeah. No, that seems to be, because I ask this on every show, and that seems to be the consistent answer.
Yeah.
All right, toughest one in blank versus blank. This is the hardest one. Hardest one you're going to get.
Oh, boy. Okay.
Two friends of both of ours.
All right.
I like them both a lot. Two of the nicest guys you're ever going to meet.
Oh, boy. Okay.
Two former guests of Let Freedom Ring.
Uh-huh.
I got Frank Delichai or Justin Savage.
Oh, gosh, why? Why would you do that to me, though?
We don't put your feet to the fire here. You can always, we don't put your feet to the fire
I
here.
can't pick. I can't do that.
They are both awesome dudes.
They are so awesome. And they both have, like, such amazing qualities.
Yeah.
I can't do that.
Fair enough. We don't put your feet to the last one's always the toughest.
Yeah, I can't do that. I love them both.
When I've said this on the show before, I had my brother Bobby on. I said, Mom or Dad. Here's what happened. Bobby didn't blink. He said, Mom. He didn't even think about it. So, Bill, we're sorry. But Ange, I really appreciate you coming on the show today. This has been a blast.
Yes.
If you ever want to do it again, we'd love to have you.
Yeah, sure.
So, but yeah, everybody out there, continue to keep your heads up. I'm glad Soapy did not invade the show today without our security. Hopefully we can get through to the union president and have security back. But yeah, until next week, let freedom ring.
Bye.